TalkRocket has some interesting features. It's organized a little bit differently than most ones. So this is the home screen, and you'll see that you have folders that are darker blue and have dots that let you know that you can go to something else. They also have ones that are lighter blue that will just speak. You can add pictures to each of them, and you can customize these in many ways. So let me go ahead and go to conversation. And so here's conversation. When I tap on the topic, the folder header appears up here. And if I go to another topic,
recording started.
So for example, hello, it's right there. Now, if I tap on one of these folder headers, it will talk.
Hello.
Hello is what it's saying.
Conversation.
Conversation is what it's saying. If I tap on any of these light blue ones, it will speak that as well. And I'll get down close so you can hear the voice.
Good morning.
It's a decent voice. So if I want to go up, I need to tap to go back up. I can also tap to go all the way home. Let me go ahead and go to people. And I put in family members. And I added some down here, I believe. Yes, no. Yes, so here's my family member, John Doe. And if I want to move him around, then I can go ahead and, is it here? No, toolbox. I can edit, and here's where I can move John Doe around. I can delete him. I can delete other ones. I don't have an X, so I can delete X if I wanted to. I don't want to. And I tap the top to stop editing. So then I can go home. One criticism people may have about this one is that there's no sentence window, and it's an interesting thing. They're both is and isn't. So let me show you. If I do I want to drink juice, if I want to drink, I'll go down to beer because it doesn't have a category that it would go into. So beer would just speak it. But I actually want to speak the whole sentence. I want to drink beer. I actually would have to tap.
I want to drink beer.
So that's how I would build a sentence if I wanted to do a sentence. So beer. So it's a kind of an interesting way to build sentences, which I'm torn about. In some ways I think that's a very interesting way, and in some ways I don't like it, because some of those folder headings are sentence components, and some of those folder headings are not sentence components. Now, a couple really cool things about TalkRocket. One is this places, and you can't see that. Let me move it up so you can. Okay, down here. Places, this little icon, can identify where you are, and if you program different things in it, you can have it pull up folders based on your location, similar to Locabulary, if anyone has seen Locabulary. So that's one of the ways that this is kind of a cool app. Another really cool feature of the app is its switch accessibility. It has a number of different switch settings. So I have choices for the color that I can highlight with for my switch settings. I have a choice for the speed of my scanning. I also have a choice for the style of scanning that it does. So I can do automatic scanning or step scanning. And then I have some really interesting options. And boy, I am so annoyed by this focus. It's just driving me nuts. My choices for the input method are, I'll work my way up from the bottom, a Bluetooth keyboard switch, which is a Bluetooth switch, or specifically the RJ Cooper switch, or this top one is my favorite. It's the full screen switch, which effectively turns the device into a switch as well as a communication device. So the you can start your scanning and then use the full screen switch. So let me go ahead and go back to my settings, and I'm going to go ahead and start scanning. So it's on auto scanning screen switch. So I'm going to actually go back to words and then start my scanning. So I'm going to go to settings, start my scanning, and now if I tap anywhere on my screen, there I've got it highlighted in red. That's going to move. There is no audio with it, it's just a visual. So if somebody needs auditory scanning, it doesn't have that. So I'm just going to hit anywhere on the screen, and there I have my choices. It's starting scanning again because it's in auto scan, and I'm going to wait until it gets down to water. And again, remember, I can set that speed to be slower or faster. And at water, I'm going to tap my screen, and then it's going to start again. And I can make my choice about which water I want. And when I am done scanning, at the very bottom here, it says slide to stop scanning. And so if I am done having it scan, well, let me just do this. Does it say it? No, hello. I'm having a technologically challenging day. Okay, I'm going to slide and stop scanning. Another cool feature of TalkRocket Go that I heard about at Closing the Gap from the vendor, but I have not been able to find, is the opportunity to clear your history, to clear your anything that you've already said. And one of the benefits of being able to clear your history for adults is that you can have a truly private conversation, and then make sure that nobody can go back and see the conversation that you had. That's great. I just couldn't find it when I looked through everything. So that was a frustration to me. So that's TalkRocket. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to turn it back to my landscape. I'm going to fiddle with the focus one more time in the vain attempt to make it look clearer, because it's just not.
And it was pretty good when you got it larger. It wasn't too bad.
Okay, it looks terrible to me. Thank you. Somebody has said that they've used it a bit. They love the idea of the scanning and the fact you can use anywhere on the iPad screen to select. Not crazy about the way the buttons are organized and the lack of customization allowed for the organization. I'd be curious to hear what you mean by customization allowed for the organization. I think that you can delete things from one layer, but you can't like move it to a lower layer or a higher layer. And you're right, that's frustrating. So the other apps that I was planning to show you, and I'm going to pull up my presentation that none of you can see because of technology. So let's go ahead and look at the other high-end app that I have to show you today. TalkRocket was this interesting hybrid of pictures and words. I'm going to look at Easy Speech, which is all words. There are no pictures at all. Right now this is in the, this to me is the power of this, is that I can easily set my font size, and you'll see the value of that in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and go to topics. And here are, I'm going to go back. Here are my topics, and you notice those are fairly easy to see because I can adjust that font. So this is topically organized. There is no real core vocabulary, and the idea is that if it has an arrow along the right hand side, then it is a category, and if it doesn't, then it speaks it. So let's go ahead and looking at photos. So you have a bunch of different ones. So you notice none of these has an arrow here. They have arrows over here. And so you can use those as comments. So let me go ahead and hit one.
Hey, that's me there. I know. Look at that one. Do you remember?
So that's the idea. You can edit these. You can edit those by moving them, by deleting them, and by adding new phrases. So there's something very appealing for a picture an adult who wants quick, quick fire communication to keep a conversation going. That it's not novel communication, it's just designed to keep the conversation going. I can type in and speak what I've typed. If I tap here, I get my keyboard and I can type in and speak what I've typed. I can also save the text that I've typed. And I can also share my phrases. So I can share my phrases. I choose which ones I'm going to do, like the going to the movies. And if I hit share, then I'm sure I want to share the selected topics. Yes. So the phrases were shared successfully. I don't know where they were shared to. I thought that they would give me an option, but they didn't. I'm so sorry. So I find the clear simplicity of this very appealing to me for certain people. So I really like the idea of this one. So that's Easy Speech Pro. You have to choose, I believe that it is a male or a female. You choose the male or the female. So those are the two higher end ones. Those are both around $100 for those two. Now the other apps that I have are all much cheaper. These are all in the realm of free to $20. So again, the choices that I have to present to you are Talk For Me, which now has a slightly different icon. It now has a red bullhorn on a blue background icon. So this is an older version of Talk For Me. Vocabulary, Expressionist, iPictoLite, which again I'm not a big fan of, Pix Aloud, Vocabeans Lite, iClick iTalk, and AutoVerbal Pro. Does anyone have one they would like to see? Talk For Me. Great. Okay. So, oh, and vocabulary. Yes, I like vocabulary a lot. Let me do Talk For Me first. So Talk For Me, like I said, it used to be this icon, which used to be a this Talk For Me, this words Talk For Me coming out of a white background, and now it's a red bullhorn on a blue background. The idea of Talk For Me is kind of similar to Easy Speech, the one we just saw, in that it's just categories. This was designed by a father, and it shows the basic language understanding that non-professionals have. So it doesn't have a core vocabulary, and it thinks about language organized categorically. And so the idea is it is primarily for phrases and sentences, similar to Easy Speech. So let's do things I like. These are things that are plugged in, so we've got my favorite drinks, my favorite games, my favorite books, and my favorite movies. So we'll do movies on top, and it says my favorite movie is Star Wars. And of course, if I hit it, it's not going to say it. This is what I find odd about this app, is it goes to this page, which looks better on an iPod Touch or iPhone than it does on the iPad, because there's so much empty space on the iPad. On the iPod Touch, it doesn't look as awkward. But here is the sentence being shown right here, and then you have the choice to talk or add it to your favorites, in which case you can access it fairly quickly through the favorites icon down here. But anyway, so if I choose to talk it, I hit the talk button. Oh, right. This is an earlier one, and I was testing out one of the potential of this program, which is you can choose a translation language. So this has an interesting potential use for communicating on the fly with people who don't speak your language. And the settings, I can choose the translation language, and the list is impressive. It's got so many different languages. So I'm specifically saying the list is impressive because, and maybe this is because the older version, I have had zero success getting it to actually speak in any other language than English. So you have to set English as the translation language if you want it to speak English. So now let me go back, and here we are, and I can go back to movies, and then I can tap it again. And remember, I have to tap if I tap the sentence, nothing will happen. If I tap the picture, it just shows me a big picture. I have to tap the talk icon in order to make it talk.
My favorite movie is Star Wars.
Now you notice that the default computer voice is a female computer voice. I watched some videos of the father-son team, the father being the developer and the son being the user, and the son used that voice. So I'm skeptical about that. But you do have the option to record. Right here is a record button. So you do have the option to record audio. I can see certain people who need that extra confirmation. Is this really what I want to say? But for the vast majority of people, I think that this extra step inhibits rather than promotes communication. The big potential benefit I see in it is the other languages. Quick shout out again about Talk Rocket Go, which is also available in French, and the staff are working incredibly hard to translate it to many languages. Now the difference is that using TalkRocket in French would mean that it's all in French, so you must be a French communicator to communicate using French. Whereas this one has the potential to be a communication translator, where you don't need to be a French communicator to communicate in French. So that's the potential of Talk for Me. I'm hoping that it works better the new version, which I didn't buy. And you're wondering how much it is. Let me get that information for you right now. It was $2. Now it's $38. So that's the difference. I have a handout based on my presentation that of course you can't see, that I will let Lisa distribute. So, yeah, let's do this. The next one that people wanted to see was vocabulary. And have people used vocabulary yet? This is the light version. So, vocabulary has a similar kind of setup to TalkRocket Go in that there are these categories and you build your communication piecemeal without a sentence building window. So here's moods, and you would get
I am surprised.
So that's how things are built. I can back up. I can also just go home. So here is that again. Now, what's really nice, I'm going to click nearby down near the bottom, and now I thought I had set in a place for, oh, my categories. Let me see. No, I had put in my office in nearby. But let's go ahead and see if it's under, not there, not there. No. Oh, poopy doopy loopy. It's not under my categories. So, is it under quick phrases? Again, my technological challenges today continue. Here's vocabulary. Quick phrases. Ah, thank you! It switched! Yay! Here are my quick phrases. Now you notice you can do something like that's
funny.
Funny, right? But it's all just a scroll, and again, no pictures there. Now let me try nearby. Ah, nearby! Yay! Nearby, in the free version, it's got Starbucks and McDonald's, two icons of American culture, and then show me a map. Let me go ahead and click that, and you can see where they are. Now, I had put in my location, so I'm kind of interested. Oh, locabulate me. Nope, that's not it. Has anyone else? No. Okay, so under settings, you can do some really interesting things, and here are the location presets. So I have a location preset set in here, Ed Roberts Campus. There it is. So if I go back to settings, let me go to app settings. I can set a male or female voice, and I can set the font size to normal or large, and I can set the vocabulary range for a certain number of miles. So right now it's set to 5.5 miles, but I can set that to only 1.5 miles if I choose. Okay, so I want to go back, and I want to edit. So let me see if I can figure out how to do that. That's not it. I want to, not the abbreviations. no. How do I add? I want to, no, I don't want to share. I want to add a category there. So I'm going to add, okay, did everybody see that? That was very odd. That when I clicked add, it was there. So I'm going to hit OK. So now I have my Ed Roberts campus. That was very odd. Oh, and here are all the pieces that I put in there. So
California Telephone Access Program.
So you listen that if I use text-to-speech on these,
Disability Rights Education and Defense Fund.
I put in the default male and the default female.
California Telephone Access Program.
And we've all experienced those, and they're pretty computer-like. And one of the things that you are supposed to be able to do under this is save that and location options. I want to do a preset and do Ed Roberts campus. So to go back to what I've done a location option and I've done a preset, and it says that selecting a location option defines how this category will be displayed based on your location. Business is a special case that allows the category to be displayed near all businesses that match the category name. And then you can have the voice for this category. You can buy better voices. So, okay, now this is location option is a preset. And so it's Ed Roberts. I'm going to save. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to go back home. And so now if I do the Ed Roberts campus should in theory pop up when I get close to the Ed Roberts campus, which is where I am. So because it wasn't set before, I didn't get to see if it would set up. So again, what's cool about it is I can set a location, say a park that somebody likes to go to, or a particular movie theater that someone likes to go to. I can set those to have a vocabulary list, a communication list pop up when I get close to those. And if I set a business, then that will pop up every time I'm close to any of them. So if there's a restaurant chain or a movie chain that somebody likes to go to a lot, then it will pop up every time you are near one of those. So yeah, so somebody was mentioning that, thank you everybody who is giving all the information that's in my presentation that you can't see. Thank you all for helping me out. And the light and the pro versions and vocabulary, I think that it is, let me find the price difference. It's free for the light version, and it's $130 for the pro version. So in the paid version, you can also add recordings, and you can also add your own images. So to give you an idea of how the images look, if you go to restaurants, you can see those icons of McDonald's and Starbucks. So you can add your own images in the pro version. So those are kind of two of the benefits of the pro version, although I think $130 for those two pieces. In some ways I'd almost be more inclined to use Talk Rocket Go, although the business feature where it will come up whenever you're near any of said business is an exciting little feature. So that's vocabulary. And now let me move this back. Okay. So two other ones that I would like to show because they're just really different. One of them is called Expressionist. It's this E right here. And the other one is called Pix Aloud, which is similar to Auto Verbal Pro, but I like Pix Aloud a little better. Does anyone have a preference between those two, which they'd like to see? Does anyone have a preference between Expressionist or Pix Aloud? Expressionist. I like Expressionist a lot because it is a very unusual app. So it works like this in portrait. Let me get it a little there. And these are the categories up on top. So I'm going to do this one, which is feelings or emotions. So you've got a couple things here. You have the picture on the screen, you have the words, and you have a scroll list down here. Now, this tool is by and large not for somebody who is nonverbal, but for somebody who has difficulty generating, like cognitively generating speech. Like they have the ability to physiologically produce speech, but they have difficulty generating speech to produce. So the purpose of Expressionist is to give them the words to say. So this one, the words to say are I am happy, and they have this very visual representation of happy. And I tend to like these pictures. They're not too confusing, but they're also not too stick figure-y. So you can move through these by tapping either side. You can move through these by tapping down on the scroll bar. You can also, and this will not translate as well as I would love it to in our video refresh rate, but if I take my finger and I circle around, it will run through all of the different ones. And I have worked with some people who process visual information so quickly that doing this can be a very quick way for them to access language. Now, on other ones, so you also have, I'll show you one of my little favorites. So this is under health, and you have my nose is bleeding, my nose is runny, I have a food allergy, I feel itchy. These are hilarious to do when you do them in a circle. And my favorite one is, of course, because sometimes you just need to be literal, I feel like vomiting. Again, there's a piece of me that appreciates the clarity of the picture and the language. Now, some of these are things people might like to do. Thank you. And you have button dots here indicating that there's more than one page. And so here is 2 pages of pictures of things to wear, and you can add them. These do talk. So if I tap one of them, pajamas. I think that if I had to take a guess why they talk is because they didn't have the real estate, the visual real estate on the screen to have all the pictures and all the words. But you notice this, back, thank you. If I hit gloves, this doesn't talk. It just says, I want to wear gloves. And so they can choose that way. If they want to get back to their list,
I want to wear.
Ah, interesting. So this one will speak. If I tap this, it will say I want to wear. If I tap this one, It doesn't. So this is I want to make music with. Again, there are two. This one is I want to write. I want to listen to, and you have 3 different things here. And so you can add.
Fish is swimming.
You can add your own pictures. How did I get to that before? There. So I can add pictures. I can take a picture. I can add recordings. So, and I can move them around. So that's very helpful. So that's Expressionist. And like I said, it's a pretty simple program. Here's I want to ride. And you notice all of these different choices. So, like I said, it does have some minimal speech. Here's play, and there are so many choices it has up here.
I want to play. Fish is swimming.
Yeah, that didn't work, because that said I wanted to play
fish is swimming.
But that's I want to play with Barbies. So, yeah. This is, I would chalk all of the app glitches that you see today, really take them with a grain of Gen salt, because like I said, I've had a technologically challenged day. So that's Expressionist. And again, what I find fascinating about that one is just how you scroll through and access the language. So the last one that I wanted to show you, although maybe I might show you Pirate Chat just for the heck of it, since I don't have my presentation up anyway, is Pixeloud. Now, like I said, Pixeloud and Auto Verbal are very similar functionally. They look a little different, but Pixeloud is $5 and Auto Verbal is, thank you, $20. Pixeloud you can add things to. Auto Verbal you can't add pictures to. So that's why, for me personally, Pixeloud is the one I would choose. So here's Pixeloud. So Pixeloud, I've chosen a gray background. There are a lot of different backgrounds that I can choose. Most of them are actual photographs of textures, bark, pebbles, grass, things like that. And I find that a little too visually confusing for most people. And so I prefer having just the simple gray background. I tried black, but then one of the icons was all black and I couldn't see it. So there is, it's difficult to see, but there is a list of dots down here that shows all the different pages. Right now, I have them all on different pages based on their topic. So this right now is actions, which you can't see because it's written in yellow. But if I scroll, here are my emotions, here are my places, here are my toys, here are my things, here's eating, here's food, here's clothes, bathroom, animals, colors, and then I added family. So here are the ones that I've added. Family. If I tap on one of them, this is my brother, Chicka Chicka Slim Shady. So it pulls the picture up big and it plays it. I can also play it again by tapping that. This is my brother, Chicka Chicka Slim Shady. If I tap the picture, it goes back. So, and it will cycle back through. I'm back at the beginning. Now, I find the configuration of this kind of interesting. So, right now I have, which one do I want to show? Right now I have page groups on, which is each group of images is on its own page. if I turn that off and save that, it now is all on one screen that I can just scroll through. So for some people, this is way too visually overwhelming, and for other people, to have it all right on one screen, everything's right there, is really, really convenient. So let me go ahead and hit one of them.
May I build a puzzle, please?
Now you notice the whole idea of this. You have a top statement, may I build, and you have a bottom statement, puzzle, and again, because they're written in yellow, it's really hard to see. But the whole idea is to, by and large, do phrases or sentences. So crayon.
May I have a crayon, please?
And you notice that's default text-to-speech, but you could record on all of these.
May I play blocks, please?
So,
We're seeing a lot of you.
sorry. Oh, my apologies, because I was trying to get my mic down so you could hear it. I will get out of the way. Okay.
May I play blocks, please?
Is that better? Good. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, so let me head back. Other ways that you can configure it. You can make the icons bigger. So right now they're 150, and the way that this toolbar works is it just cycles through the choices in this button. So you keep tapping. Now it's 200 by 200, 25 by 25, 50 by 50, 100 by 100, which is where we were. Let me go to 200 by 200. Let me also change the background to dark gray, and hopefully the text color will move in. Like I said, if I keep cycling through this one background, I will see several different options. But I can't see them all and choose from the whole palette. I have to cycle through them. Oh yeah, there, that looks a little better. So now my icons are all bigger because I've made them all 200 by 200 as opposed to 100 by 100. So they're far more visually accessible. So let me go ahead and do an emotion one.
I am happy.
And then you go back. So the other cool thing about this app in theory is this schedule right here. Again, according to the overview video that I saw, you are supposed to be able to create schedules. In the video there was a morning schedule with icons for brushing your teeth and brushing your hair, and you can check off those checklists. So there's a little bit of a visual schedule. The way that you are supposed to do that, if I go up here and show you, is it up over there? No. Is it down over here? If I just go to the side. There is a help menu that will tell you about this. Oh, it's because I'm not in edit mode. One frustration I have about this app is if I put it into edit mode, if I put edit mode on and save, everything has a little cross out hatch on it. And now I have this little eye up here in the upper right corner, and if I tap that I get this little side menu that says add to schedule. To add an image to the schedule while in edit mode, which we're in, tap and hold the image on the main page for at least 5 seconds. So, okay, I want to get rid of that. Say I want to have feed the cat. So I'm going to press and hold this for 5 seconds. And nothing seems to happen. And if I go tap on schedule, nothing is over there. So that's frustrating to me. I have not been able to figure out how to actually make that schedule part work, but it apparently has it. So again, a really interesting way to present the language, either on different screens that you swipe through for each category, or all on one screen that you scroll through up and down. Very, very interesting one. Okay, so how much is Expressionist? Yeah, Expressionist is $10, and like I said, Pixeloud is $5. As opposed to, I'll just quickly show you Auto Verbal Pro to show you the one distinction. Is, look at that. It, for some reason, enlarging the Pixeloud also enlarged these pictures. Let's see if it will get smaller. Nope, it won't. Oh, that's pretty fascinating. But the whole idea with these is you can scroll through each item set.
Zoo.
So that says zoo. But again, I cannot move any of these pictures. I cannot delete any of these pictures. I cannot add any of these pictures. That really reduces its usefulness to me. Especially if I'm going to be paying $20 for it. So that's why, even though Pixeloud doesn't have that nice scrolling from side to side, it's more usable. Okay, we have about 5 more minutes, and I would love to show Pirate Chat. Would people like to see Pirate Chat as long as I'm here? Just because it's a quirky little one? Yay, Pamela wants to see Pirate Chat. Thank you. Yay, sure. Okay, Pirate Chat it is. Pirate Chat. Fat Cat is this company, and it has a number of different ones. It has Pirate Chat, it has Aussie Chat, where everything is Aussie sayings. It had Spooky Chat, which was all Halloween, and if somebody really wants to see Spooky Chat, I can show you Spooky Chat. And it also has Conversation Repair, and one of the interesting things about it is it has general categories and then numerous ways to say essentially the same thing, and so it gives some really interesting let me go ahead and can I clear this? Yes, clear display. There you go. Thank you. So this is my general yes, my general no, my general maybe, my general I don't know, and my general frustration. And so if I tap it, I get my different yes choices. So I have
I, yar, yo ho ho, har, mighty fine.
So this is the free version, so I've only got that one column. If you pay $1, you get these other columns, which say fun things like, come smart about thar, a thunderous blow struck clean through, better in quaffing a blackjack of rum. So fun things like that. If I hit no, I've got the same things, but negative. So things like,
Scupper that. Horn swaggled again. Don't be saying it.
if I go back home, I have both columns again. So here, these are general greetings, general inquiries, general conversation continuers, general partings, and general conversation stoppers right there. Sorry, conversation stoppers. So if we do the ahoy, we've got things like
Ahoy thar. Me hearties. Mateys. Yo-ho.
So you do have the option to then share this. You can tweet it, you can email it, you can do it as an instant message. Oh, look, you can send it to Spooky Chat. So that gives you some interesting options. So I just like the character of it. I think that the character of it is a very nice thing. Sometimes people are so focused on the functionality of communication that they forget the variety and spice of communication, and I find this to be delightfully spicy. So yes, it's called Fat Cat Pirate Chat. So, and it's yeah, like I said, it's free or $1. And let me see if I can pull up Spooky Chat for you, just to give you an idea of. Spooky Chat was a free app, and it just had a variety of things you might say on Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
So things like that. So was that. And are there any final questions that people would like to ask me? No. Thank you all for rolling with technological challenges. All of the apps that I talked about and more, except Pirate Chat, but I'll add it, will be in a PDF that will go up on the website with the archived webinar. The PDF will include, for all apps, it will include the price, the website where you can find information on it, and a few points about it. So thank you again, everyone, for taking this journey with me today, this technologically challenged journey with me. Oh, hey, I didn't show you one more that I find really fascinating too. If you've got time to stay, I will show you one more. It's called, I'll just do it really quickly. Functional Communication System, and this is the light one. Functional Communication System, again, is a completely different way. It's from Conover Company, and it uses resources that Conover Company has used in its functional, what is it called? Functional living systems, I think. They have a whole curriculum, and so this is based on that. So here are the vocabulary pieces. Each one has an actual photograph. So, like, I am both fine and and where's what I want? No. Sorry, there. So then I can, all of the pictures came up here, and I can hit it.
I am both fine and sorry.
So one of the things I don't like is that communication with pauses between each word. That's frustrating. But what's interesting is if I tap and hold on any of the pictures, I have the picture, I have the audio,
She
and I also have a video explaining the vocabulary word.
is the female person being talked about. This girl is sitting on a couch and she is reading a book.
So I have this built-in vocabulary learning support that I can add videos to all of my icons, all of my photographs, to help explain what the vocabulary term actually is. I find that really interesting. So, yeah, I was just kind of fascinated by that one. It's a really interesting way. I don't see it as much as a communication tool, but a communication teaching tool to help you create a word bank that you can access when you need. So, yes, this is Functional Communication System Lite. Thank you. Yes, there are videos, so I think everybody had their answers. Thank you for letting me show you that one other one. I found that one fascinating. Thanks for coming and looking at apps with me today. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their evening.